Hi, Abhinav, and hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of us interacting with a mental health professional. We have Abhinav here who is going to introduce himself.
Hi Estelle, and hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Abhinav, and I'm working with mental health, well-being, and resiliency aspects since last 5 years. And also, it is very intrigued profession as well as the great aspects of doing into well-being and resiliency is that we're completely surrounded by mental health aspects where we constantly taking care of our own mental health. I would say it. So this is my experience and my areas of expertise, including workplace yoga, laughing exercises, and a happiness therapy. So these are my areas of expertise, and it's all about me.
Thank you for sharing, Abhinav. It's wonderful to know that you specialize in employee well-being and you talk about corporate well-being. So since it's June and it is, Men's Mental Health Month, I wanted to understand from you what does it look like to work with men in mental health?
So when it comes to men and mental health, I would say that it is totally underrated. So many men usually busy in doing what they can be for their own families. So they usually say that it is not that much of importance, or else I do not have much time that I could really spend for my own self care when they are completely occupied with doing something better for their own families. And yes, for some people, it may look like mental health may look like it is one of the luxurious aspect or else a recreational aspect. But when it comes to the men's mental health, it's more of a responsibility and accountability. And hence, I guess men has to be more cautious about what they are doing with about their mental health, and more practice and strategies is really important at this moment of time. And I could say men mental health is need of an hour that we have to discuss about it, and we all have to reinforce about, within our own abilities to the men's mental health.
Hmm. Okay. So I heard you say that, a lot of men or most men think that, it is only luxury and they get lost into taking care of their responsibilities, their day-to-day activities. So would you say that they find it difficult to take time out for their mental health or they just brush everything under the carpet?
Yes, it's both the ways of some people. Like, for example, if we consider what exactly the well-being activities, they have a very wrong notion that we have to go on a long rides, or maybe we have to spend a lot of money for the well-being and resiliency kind of strategies. But it is not that easy for everybody, right? Especially the men who is the maximum part, which is filled with the society. It is not that easy for everybody to do the same thing, and that's the reason why I thought I said the men's mental health is really a part of a luxurious, and it is not that easy for everybody to follow it. Maybe we can bring a bit more about understanding the self-care is not self-care and well-being and mental health is not the matter of doing hours of practice. Maybe it starts with just to begin with 5 minutes of practice. So on day-to-day basis, if you start figuring it out how I can take care of myself or what are the mental health practices I would be including in my day-to-day lives, I guess that is a place where we can start the mental health journey.
Yeah, wow, that's a really good invitation. I mean, I never thought about it. But yeah, I think inviting men to say that, just begin with 5 minutes of your day and maybe slowly, change that 5-minute routine a day to a little bit more time. And I think that would be a great way of them taking care of their mental health. What are few of the ways that you would recommend other than, maybe 5-minute practices? Would you say would help men reach out for therapy or seek individual sessions?
So, as I usually believe, and also I propound for many people, it is what our mental health or our lives is totally is what we think about it, or whatever the content in our thoughts it's usually filled up with, right? So, for example, recently I have been to one of the client. It's a client location where I have seen those are all are the chemists basically. There's a pharma company, all are the chemists, and what is the usual content of their human mind? It is totally really filled with something related to the workplace, about the chemicals, about trials and errors. And it's hardly, I believe that there's hardly they think about there is some aspect of their life to be related to the mental health or the well-being.
Mm.
Now, just bringing one simple aspect, the intention or the thought into the mind, like the mental health as a preliminary or it's the basic need, it's a core need of an individual. Yes, the profession is totally important and they have to do the profession because they need to feed, they have to sustain their life and also take care of their families. That's totally be there. But even before that, I guess the first and foremost aspect every individual and especially every man has to think is about the mental health. And when they have the content of mental health in their mind, and it is more easy, and they will be always finding themselves to be more, happy and also well-being, and they would be able to find the harmony during the time of chaos. And that is the only step that we can take for the men. And I have seen a lot of individual sessions where I usually connect. A lot of men usually complains about their own responsibilities and their own recent crisis losses. And I'm really sad to see that they will never get an opportunity to talk with anybody. Like they cannot talk within their own families or else within their own friends. This is really heartbreaking. And also, I guess this is the place where we have to rethink about the mental health concepts as well as how we are going to implement the strategies on our day-to-day lives.
Mm. Mhm. Yeah, makes sense, right? Like, I think what I'm hearing you say that men need to know that mental health is accessible and it's okay for them to take care of the mental health, right? Because a lot of times we get stuck in the narrative that okay, we have home, we have our families, we have our work, we have to sustain our life. How would we take time out? But how would we be able to let them know that it's okay, that they also can reach out for help? Like, what is one way that you can think of?
Absolutely. And yeah, and another thing is that nowadays I was able to see there is an increasing awareness about the mental health.
Mm.
There is an increasing awareness about the mental health. Everybody is somewhere other ways through the social media, through the maybe through the friends somewhere other place. They were hearing about the mental health concepts. They have to go for the mental health thing. But the thing is that the accessibility of those mental health services is really lacking. Neither the place where they are working, the companies are not taking the initiation step, right, by acting themselves as a parental figure to provide them whatever that's necessary when it comes to the employee well-being and also the mental health. So I guess this is a place where we all have to think about it, all the organizations, maybe the leadership or anybody, like wherever they are working, our family itself, an organization where we usually work together in such a way that our family runs and sustain more happy ways, isn't it? So within our family, when it comes in the starting within our family, maybe the next one is the society and also the organization where they're working. I guess it's very important or more, we have to make it more convincing ways that people should be able to access the mental health resources, and also they would be able to go through the counseling and coaching. And usually people says I have friends, usually I talk to them, they usually counsel with me, and I have parents, I have so many people who usually guide me. But there is nothing, I mean, I would be totally appreciating that there is a lot of support is really available for them. But I can guarantee and I can say that there is nothing that can compensatory when it comes to the way how the mental health professional do deals with the things the same way it cannot be possible with other people. So yes, it is totally mandatory to have one affiliation in everybody's life, one affiliation in everybody's life to have a mental health professional where they would be constantly seeking the ideas, the philosophies, or maybe just a psycho education, and that can bring a lot of well-being into their lives.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, I really like how you said that, beginning at home, knowing that at home as well, if your family members encourage the men at home to say, that it's okay, you're not doing well, you need help, you can reach out for help, then at a level in the society, and then also at the workplace, it has a really, really huge impact to let men know that they can take care of their mental health, yes. And also having someone to talk to, right, professionally. And another good point that you shared was, talking to a friend or a family member is different than talking to a mental health professional. And I think that would be one takeaway for me. And I hope it's the same for all the men and everyone else who was listening to us. Is there anything
Yes,
else,
absolutely.
Abhinav? that you would like to
So
share?
I wanted to stress one more. Yes, I want to stress on one more point. Like when it comes to the men, the bullying is quite common about the mental health. When I talk about the mental health concepts within my friends, within my family, bullying about that particular aspect, irrespective of the ages, it's quite common, which is happening right now. And I want everybody to take a step away from that. It's okay. Like if someone is coming and telling like I'm totally broke down because of something, I guess we need to respect that particular person choice. Instead of being empathetic and sympathetic to that person, people usually say that how can you be like that? That's really heartbreaking, isn't it? And I guess everybody has to take a chance. And if you really thinking that if you wanted to really help anybody else, I guess we need to stop bullying. I This is a message for everybody that we have to stop bullying, and we have to encourage them to speak about that. It could be any reason, right? It could be maybe losing of a small amount of money. Maybe that is also very traumatic for some people. It may be like not getting enough matches for the marriage. That is also totally easy right now. That's how it's happening. So I have been speaking to a lot of men, and most of the men is really having a hard time in order to express their own emotions and feelings, whatever they are going through the crisis. It is not the same way how it was just 15 years back or 10 years back. Right now, as we are moving towards a fast-paced world, the competition is increasing, but still the people expectations are standing back into the 10 years or 15 years back. I guess as the things are changing, we also need to change or modify the way how we think, the expectation what we have on the people, and we have to be more realistic in nature. And that's the only thing we can make our society a more better place for living of every individual and including men.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, I'm not sure if everyone are aware that, men go through bullying when they talk about taking care of their mental health or talking about their lows. I think this was a great invitation for you to share that everyone should be open to listening and hearing men talk about their mental health concerns or struggles and not bully them or tell them, you're a man, you can do it, but encourage them to talk to someone, maybe talk to a professional who will help them, maybe help them understand their behaviors, their emotions, and look at what they can do to improve their mental health. Thank you so much, Abhinav, for
Yes.
sharing today. It was
Sure.
wonderful. Is there anything else before we close?
Sure, sure, Estelle. Thank you so much for having me and giving the opportunity to talk about men's mental health, which is I really wanted to talk about it quite a lot of times. And I wanted to. I mean, as a man, and I also usually reinforce in all the people. It doesn't have to be do anything with the age, isn't it? Like all the men is a man. Of course, I usually encourage my interns or the students of like who's 20 years or 18 years to even the very old people. I usually encourage everybody, irrespective of even the gender, the well-being and resiliency is really important. I guess we have to look forward for. Thank you so much, Estelle. I'll see you once again. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.